On to you Capricorns out here. So you Capricorns have the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Wands, and then you have the Six of Wands. Things are turning in your favor. The things that you wanted to actually happen are starting to happen. They are starting to happen for you. A lot of you Capricorns, this is a very joyous time for you. You know, come on now. Y'all know that if it was a bad time, I would actually say so. But I'm just looking this over just like y'all are looking it over. So I'm going through this with y'all. The Page of Swords, the Judgment. But yet at the same time, even though things are working well for you, again, here come the games, right? You still have some people that, you know, still running that old 1990s withhold whatever it is that they think that you want from you as it is that you're getting to know them. But you Capricorn shouldn't care, right? Shrugs my shoulders, because you don't have to hang out with them. You can always go off and talk to somebody else. So like, what leverage exactly do they think that they have? Like, you Capricorns are accomplishing your dreams and doing a lot of the things that you wanted to do, that's been on your bucket list for a long time, checking it off, boom, 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 boom. And here they are being dysfunctional, thinking that creating some form of like ultimatum, either an ultimatum or trying to shut you down, you know, when they think that it's best to shut you down. And what I mean when I say trying to shut you down, I'm talking about, you know, you're trying to get to know them, you're trying to find out what they are about, you're just listening, you're just going through the feeling out process. They're telling you about everything that they're not going to do, and they're talking about their standards, but those aren't really standards, those are expectations. Those are expectations. And what I mean by that is, see, what I'm about to say is some real game. Standards are reasonable. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that one. Standards. One of the differences between standards and expectations is that standards are reasonable. Expectations, there is no limit on it. It's something that you would like to have ideally. So in your wildest dreams, right? Expectations is something that doesn't necessarily always need to have a reasonable desire, a reasonable request, right? It can be unreasonable. It can be whacked out. It could be kooky. So the thing is that, again, you Capricorns don't care, you know, as you get to know some people and they start acting whacked out. You don't care, because who are they? You have standards too. You're not going to put up with some individual that, so there's definitely a sense of you getting to know some people and like you starting to understand that the expectations is real whacked out. They don't have standards. They have expectations. They expect you Capricorns to pay all their bills, pay for the dates, pay for everything, pay for this, pay for that, go through the extra mile, do this, do that. And you Capricorns are like, you're not doing that. Because a relationship is what? It's a relationship. I keep saying it. It's 50-50. A relationship is 50-50. The two of you have to be useful to one another. And both sides, it has to be 50-50, because both sides don't want to be played. Neither side wants to be played. Who wants to be with somebody where consistently one person has to consistently be the one to do all the compromising on a consistent level? Even if it's 60-40, the person who's putting in 60%, that's still a parasitic relationship, because why is it that said person has to be the one to constantly or has to be the one to do the majority of the compromising? Why aren't both sides doing compromising? Why is it that I got to be the one to pay? For instance, why is it that I got to be the one to pay for everything? And we're both consenting adults. So I got to pay it all the time. So I never get any breaks, ever. You won't decide. It's upright. It's good nature to want to do things 50-50. Because if anybody that has any value at all, anybody that has any kind of good sense and value wouldn't dare look at their significant other working themselves into exhaustion and just be like, well, I'm going to continue to kick my feet up. All healthy relationships are 50-50. There's not an exception to that. There's no exception to that. No exceptions. There's not a single exception anywhere. All relationships that are healthy are 50-50. Even the relationships where two people think that they're getting along, where one person stays in the house, that's not a healthy relationship. That's still a parasitic relationship. Because a parasitic relationship, the definition of a parasocial or a parasitic relationship is when one side does the vast majority of the work, or when one side does the majority of the work and the other side on a consistent level, meaning generally that's how it is. So why would you Capricorns want someone like that, right? One side does the vast majority or the majority of the work, while the other side is okay on a consistent, the same thing, consistent level. They're okay with that. So even your stay-at-home relationships are parasitic relationships, because one side is doing the majority of the work, while the other side, if they had any kind of value, would be like, listen, even if the person says that they want me to stay in the house, I'm still gonna go ahead and make myself useful by coming to YouTube or going to Rumble or point that I'm trying to make here is creating some form of revenue for myself utilize the internet to where I'm pulling in income. So even if I'm in the house, apartment, whatever, I'm still pulling in money to be able to contribute, even though I'm in the house. Only a useless only a valueless individual is gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm finna watch my partner do it all, suffer, and I'm gonna just sit back and let them do it and watch. Now, why am I saying that? This is the kind of scenario that this person wanted to deal with you. Either they gave you an ultimatum. If they didn't give you an ultimatum talking about if you did this, then they're gonna leave. Then it's a sense of they tried to put you in that category of you Capricorns need to be the one that's paying for everything. And you Capricorns is like, oh, it's a dub, because the star and the Empress represents, you're looking for someone that has nobility. You're looking for someone who is noble, someone who is upright, someone that has integrity. That's the type of person that you will give a family to. The Sun, right? You'll give a family to and be in a relationship with and give your warmth and your love and your attention to. This goofiness, you Capricorns aren't going to dare give your attention to somebody that's talking about you need to pay for everything and you need to do this, and sitting up there putting a battery in your back and trying to control you like you some form of toy robot. I know y'all ain't gonna go out like that. The Ten of Wands and the Unalive card right here represents, this is the time of rebellion for you Capricorns. Capricorn represents a person. Capricorn represents liberation. Capricorn represents a need, a person that understands where restraints are, because Capricorn represents restraints. But Capricorn also represents a loosening of restraints, because Capricorn, because Capricorn represents, right, when you're in a position of being like a child, you don't really have much power, you don't have much leverage. Literally everything that you have is given to you, right? You're not even old enough to have a part-time job, right? Obviously you're vulnerable, you can't walk, you can hardly do squat. As you get older, right, because you are starting to become more abled to be right, you're capable of doing all these different things. Now all of the powerlessness that you would have experienced when you were a child, it starts to loosen up. That's what Capricorn represents. Capricorn represents postponing those things, postponing those freedoms and those luxuries and the necessities based upon age and circumstances, or both, to now when you get to a certain position, now you can afford to not be restricted in this area, or restricted in this area, or boundary, or bordered in this area, due to the fact that you are in a powerful position. So I'm saying all this to say that you Capricorns, you're not falling for that type of gobbledygook again. You're not going for the okey doke of you Capricorns got to be paying for everything and doing everything. If a person is an adult, they should be responsible too, unless they are really down and out, they are struggling, they are on some homeless shelters type stuff, where they're really below the poverty line, or at the poverty line, then I understand that. But consistently, if they are an adult, they're going to pay their half. And you Capricorn shouldn't let, and you're not letting, and you also shouldn't let people tell you some nonsense about how you should do it because of X, Y, and Z. Forget about that. That's trash. And I would never advise you Capricorns to listen to what this goofy individual had for you, talking about you need to pay this, or giving you these ultimatums and stuff like this. You Capricorns did the thing that you should have been doing. You should have been doing for the longest time, which is you liberating yourself. Let's clarify the unalive card. Oh, the unalive card also represents too, right? This just came to me. It represents you're not going back to that. You're not going back to a time where you're dysfunctional. You're not going back to a time where you got caught up with the okey doke of thinking that that's how a relationship is, because you know now that it's them trying to control you, them trying to put you in a position where they get to sit back and not do anything or whatnot, and they're trying to take advantage of you. You Capricorns aren't going for that. Y'all didn't live to however old you are, experiencing the rough upbringing that you came from, just to be in a relationship, to be in the same type of scenario. That's lame. So to clarify the unalive card, you have the Page of Wands, the Sun, Five of Wands, the Page of Cups, and then the Seven of Cups, which represents how a lot of you Capricorns, very much so, again, a person has to accept the fact that you have a mind of your own and you're going to do your thing. You can reason with your significant other or compromise, but you're not going to compromise yourself to the point where you're doing things that you put yourself in a position to be in a parasitic relationship. The Page of Cups and the Seven of Cups, and if they can't understand that, there is other options out there for you. So that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 100,000 subs. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. I have 14,600 and change. Appreciate it very much so. I never thought that I could grow this fast. Appreciate you. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.